were never zeicher to have children of our own. Actually, we turned the world over for children in the end, even just for one child, but nothing really worked. When it came the final day, when the doctor told us, it hurts me to tell you, but it's time for closure. It's not going to happen anymore in your lifetime. We were driving down in the city, very deep in thought and quiet. And all of a sudden my wife says, Shlomo, the road for us has come to an end. Hashem has told us no. But we're going to answer to Hashem a resounding yes. She says, Chani, what are you talking about? She says, we are going to now help Klal Yisrael have children.
Infertility is a very, very, very painful experience to go through. You feel alone. It really, really isolates you. And it's just beautiful that there's an organization like Bonei Olam that wants to step it up and wants to help.
Our goal was primarily to raise enough money for a couple to have a chance to have a baby.
IVF is very expensive. Medicine is very expensive.
I know what this means, not getting back your blood work because your bill is not paid. Many people in the world out there don't even understand what we're talking about. But this is painful, hurtful, and extremely, extremely expensive. One time we were together, a group of people being serviced in a hospital, which is not in the United States. My next door neighbor was a couple living in Monsey, New York. They came over to us and they told me and my wife, we were told this morning that if we don't change our medication, we can go home. They needed $3,000 to buy, at that morning, entire cachet of medicine. So my wife tells me, Shlomo, what should I do? I only have for ourselves. So my wife made a decision, Shlomo, so far we don't need to change medication. Let's give them the money and we'll worry what happens to us. Bottom line was they came home with twins from that cycle. That was the first loan that I personally gave. So Chani told me that time, this is Shlomo, even for one baby, it's going to be worth it. My second primary goal was to be able to guide people through the procedure, whether they need my money or not. The world comes to Bonei Olam just for genetic questions.
I could call Rabbi Bachner and ask him something, and he is like an encyclopedia.
I had personally spent on this entire scientific program tens of millions of dollars. We identified by now close to 30 new mutations. In other words, we never knew which gene is responsible for certain issues.
There's no reason that a couple going through this should be going through this alone. It's hard enough to be struggling. To have to do it all by yourself is just too much to bear. Whether the couple needs emotional support, financial support, or medical guidance, Bonei Olam is there to help.
In the Ashkenazi community, this was my job to bring this issue out in the public. This is a medical issue. Come and ask for help because there's a lot more help available than actually people believe there is. My connection to the Syrian community runs deep and very long. I was very closely connected to Chacham Avadia, Zechron Livracha. He actually never pronounced my Ashkenazic name, which is Shlomo Bach. He used to say, your name is Shlomo Bonei Olam, Zehu. As time grew, more people came from the community. In Baruch Hashem, I have to say, I answered every call.
Infertility is more common than people think it is in our community. I actually just got a phone call 5 minutes before I got here about a couple that's trying to have a baby. They're 41 years old and time is of the essence.
I'm very involved in helping a lot of non-Jewish people. I'm involved with every segment of the Jewish population. I don't care who you are, how you go dressed, how religious you are. It doesn't matter to me at all because there's a human side over here. So I've learned when it comes to pain, especially this hurt, we're going to do everything and anything possible to help anybody cross this bridge. By now, Baruch Hashem, we are close to 10,000 children that we paid for. In other words, we have at least double that amount that never needed my money, just my guidance, my work, my sweat. We had put together by now for Bonei Olam, from day one, approximately $160 million. This campaign that we're doing now, I just want people to understand. I have, unfortunately, from the Sephardic community, just as many patients and customers as I have from all over the world. I know personally many couples that have never moved on. They started the initial beginning and then they went into the freeze mode because they just could not afford.
All the money that gets raised goes directly to our community members that are struggling with this challenge.
When Hashem sees that other people get involved, Hashem will answer those tefillot and it will end with success. This chesed from Bonei Olam, there is no expiration, there's no time attached to it, it's eternity. It's a child, it's grandchildren, great-grandchildren. You can't do more chesed than Bonei Olam does. A person walks into you with no children and walks away with a baby.
you.